Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a modern classic, Robin Sharma's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It's this incredible story about a superstar lawyer who basically has a complete meltdown, gives up everything, yep, even that shiny Ferrari, all to figure out what life is really about. It's a fantastic lesson in swapping burnout for real joy. So, let's get into it.
Right at the start of the book, we get this quote from George Bernard Shaw, and it really sets the stage perfectly. It asks the big question, are you just a flickering candle about to go out, or are you living like a splendid torch, burning as brightly as you can?
So let's meet our main character, Julian Mantle. This guy is a legal legend, a real titan in the courtroom. From the outside, he had it all. The money, the fame, the respect, everything you're supposed to want.
And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? Look at the contrast. On the left, you've got Julian before, raking in millions but so stressed out he looked decades older. And on the right, the man he becomes. It's not about money anymore. It's about purpose, health, and a kind of youthfulness that has nothing to do with age. This is the transformation that the whole story is about.
And then, this happens. Right in the middle of a huge case, he just collapses. A massive heart attack. But here's the thing. It wasn't just a physical breakdown. It was like his whole spirit just shattered. It was his wake-up call, the universe practically yelling at him that he was on the wrong path and had to make a change, like right now.
So the doctors give him a choice, quit your job or die. Pretty simple. But Julian, he goes for option 3, a path that would take him completely off the map of his old life. And he went all in. This wasn't a little break. It was a total life demolition. The mansion? Gone. The private jet? Sold. And yes, even that beautiful red Ferrari, the symbol of his whole identity, he sold it. And with that, he heads to India, searching for some real answers.
Deep in the Himalayas, he starts hearing these whispers, these legends about a mysterious group of sages living in a hidden village called Savannah. They supposedly held the ancient secrets to a truly enlightened life, and finding them, well, that became his new obsession. After a seriously tough journey, he actually finds them, and they agree to share their wisdom, but not in the way you'd expect. No dusty old books or long lectures. Instead, they tell him this one very, very strange story. Okay, so picture this. The story starts in the most beautiful garden you can possibly imagine. It's lush, it's green, totally peaceful, just overflowing with these spectacular flowers. Then, smack in the middle of this perfect, serene garden, a giant, towering red lighthouse just appears. Kinda weird, right? It gets weirder. The lighthouse door opens, and out walks this huge Japanese sumo wrestler. We're talking 9 feet tall, 900 pounds. He just wanders into the middle of the garden. And just when you're thinking, okay, what is going on, you realize he's only wearing a single pink wire cable. I know, it sounds totally bizarre, but stick with me because every single one of these details means something. See, here's the big reveal. This crazy story isn't just random nonsense. The sages explain that each piece of the puzzle, the garden, the lighthouse, the sumo wrestler, is actually a symbol. Each one represents one of the 7 timeless virtues you need for a truly fulfilling life. All right, so let's start unpacking this thing. And we're going to begin with the first symbol, that magnificent garden. The garden, they explain, is your mind. And this is the absolute foundation of everything. If you tend to your mind like a garden, fertilize it with good thoughts, pull out the weeds of negativity, it's going to blossom. But if you let the weeds take over, you'll never find any real peace. Simple as that. Now get this. The sages taught that the average person has something like 60,000 thoughts a day. Just imagine that. That is a ton of mental chatter going on up there. But here's the kicker, the part that's really wild. A full 95% of those thoughts are the exact same thoughts you had the day before. The sages had a name for this, the tyranny of impoverished thinking. It's like being stuck on a mental hamster wheel, and it keeps you from moving forward.
So the obvious question is, how do you get off the hamster wheel? How do you actually start weeding that garden of yours? Well, the sages gave Julian 3 powerful, ancient techniques to do just that. The first one is a focus exercise called the heart of the rose. It's super simple. You just sit with a rose and focus all your attention on it. That's it. Every time your mind wanders off, you just gently bring it back. What you're doing is building your concentration muscle, learning to control what you let into your garden. Technique number 2 is called opposition thinking. The idea here is that your mind can't hold two opposite thoughts at the exact same time. So the second a negative thought, a weed, pops into your head, you have to consciously and immediately replace it with a positive one. It's an active way of taking charge of your inner world. And the third technique is all about the power of visualization. The sages believed, just like Einstein here, that everything you see in the world, everything that gets created twice. First in your mind, and then out in reality. They call this the secret of the lake. It's all about creating a super clear, vivid mental picture of your goals and who you want to be. You have to feel it like it's already real. Because when you create that powerful blueprint in your mind, it starts to change how you see yourself. And when you change your self-image, your actions just naturally start to line up with that new vision. This quote from Patanjali just nails Julian's whole journey. Once he learned to master the garden of his mind, he wasn't trapped by his old worries anymore. He found a real purpose, and in the process, he became this amazing person he never even knew he could be. And really, that brings the whole lesson right back to us, doesn't it? Your mind is your garden. You hold the seeds and the water. You are the one in charge. So, the only question left is, what are you going to plant in it today?